record this. Okay, so I just clicked on my record. We got our chat going. If you got a question, you do one of two things. You can either put it in the chat and I'll get to it, you know, whenever, or you can just unmute your mic. We don't have a huge group here. And you can, we got a little bigger than we had before, so that's good. Getting some more people in here. Well, we got a test tomorrow, so you probably want to hear about that and what's going on. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is, I know you guys love seeing me, but I'm going to go over to the share my screen for the Google Classroom. Okay, here it is. Now, these are, for those that don't know, this is all three of my computer lit classes. So I have one that's virtual and two that are hybrid. But what I'm going to do here is it just kind of review a little bit where we're at, where we're going, and what's going on. For this week, now you may not feel like it, but we're already basically like halfway through the semester. You might say, well, aren't there a couple more weeks and half left? Well, you have to remember we're going to be 2 weeks off at Christmas, and we'll be off at least 4 days or thereabout, maybe 5 days, somewhere around there for Thanksgiving. So right around now is considered the halfway point. And we've been contacting some of the parents. Those of you, some of you are on my attendance list for what we call parent-teacher conferences online. But as I always tell everyone, all the parents of all my students are welcome to contact me anytime, or the students. So that's why I've been keeping this up here, the contact information. Easy to find. This number you can text or call. A lot of people text it. That's usually the most popular. Email still fine. You can email too. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that. In the stream, which is our headlines and things like our Zoom meeting info, just a reminder, you can always come in and get help. Normally Wednesday is a good day to come in, but next week, you know, Wednesday we're gonna have like the Thursday class day. So so Wednesday may not be good next week, but most weeks Wednesdays are good. And we've been having about 4 or 5 people a week come in on Wednesday if you want to, from any of my classes. Okay, back to classwork. We're in week 8. The Apple event carried over from last week. I posted it last week because that's when the event actually occurred live. If you don't see it on the front of Apple's website, you can just do a search for Apple event October 2020 on Google. It's probably on YouTube and several other locations right now. So it shouldn't be that hard to find, but you guys should have done that by now. And that was due a little bit earlier this week. And if you ever do have trouble with things like how do I find it or where is it, or if they moved it from wherever I put the link, because it was there for a while, just let me know. Because if you got the question, probably somebody else does too. Now, this here that says word test review assignment Zoom video, this is not actually an assignment. You probably figured out. I just happened to put the review for this week from Monday, I believe it's from Monday, up there just to help people find it, because some people weren't finding these. I put them in the stream and they were like, where's the Zoom? I couldn't find it. So I don't know if I'm going to always do that, but I put this one up because it was kind of important for people that weren't there. Okay, so that's not an actual assignment to do. It's just a video to look at if you want to from the Zoom on Monday. Now the 2 big things this week, and if you're in the hybrid classes, we're doing these in class, is the word test review assignment. And of course on Fridays, the word test itself. If you are in my hybrid C groups and you're in class tomorrow, we'll do this tomorrow in class. If you are in the H group or the online only class or absent for some reason, you'll do this at home tomorrow. Again, I want you to do it tomorrow. Unless there's some really good reason, you can contact me and we could talk about it. I will post it by about 9 a.m. and you got till midnight. And it's not really a test. It isn't something you necessarily have to study for. You're going to make a bunch of things. So you can just kind of use your imagination. You're going to have to format paragraphs. You're going to have to do word art. You're going to have to know how to put a page border, how to do text boxes, how to insert images, edit shapes and fills and colors and lines and header and footer and drop cap and all those types of things. And then we've been covering in our assignments. Now, again, it's nothing you really got to study for. If you don't know it right away when you go to make it, you can look it up. You know, you can look up, and Word has help in it, which is one way to get, you know, how do I do a drop cap? How do I fill a shape? You can always Google it. There's a lot of stuff on Google. And obviously, I've been sharing various tutorials. Now, this assignment here, which if you weren't in class to do it, you know, you can do it at home. This is important. This is almost like part one of the test because you get to make a lot of stuff. And it's 50 points. And I shared, there's information here, but I shared 4 files with you. And a tutorial for those that are not in class. If you're in class, we made it in class, you don't need to watch a tutorial. Actually, these are like 2 tutorials back to back, but they're in the same video. They combined to make this project. So it's pretty much one project. I just broke it in half to, in case you want to do one half one day and one half the other day. But what did I share? First, we got Internet History Rough. This is just a rough edit of a Word document that you download. Now, some of you might say, didn't we make that back in the Word Packet 1? Yes, you did. So if you want to use your own, you're welcome to do that. But in case someone didn't have it or didn't know where it was, they can download this. The only thing I left in here by accident was these hit return at the end of some of the paragraphs. So delete those. We deleted those in class. Now, what is the idea of rough typing? Say you're doing a big document, and this has been proven from research. It's quicker and easier just to get all your main text. We're talking about a document like this with a bunch of paragraphs in it. So it's best to get all your main text in there first, then go back and format everything, your paragraphs. And in our case, we're going to do a variety of things in here. So that's why we did this. And then in the tutorial, if you watch the video tutorial, it takes you through all the different skills and things that we're learning and doing with this document. So this is where it's going to start. Now, I recommend after you download it, make a copy. Do a save as, name it maybe your last name, word review, or you can abbreviate some of that, and save that so you're working off a copy. And then you're going to go through and make a bunch of changes. You're going to add stuff, do a lot of things to this, and then hit save as you go, maybe every 5 minutes or so while you're working. And then when you're all done, you're going to end up making something like this. You know, there's a page border here, you got a text box here, internet history, your paragraphs are nicely formatted, you have a drop cap up here, you have this image. I share the image, by the way. If you want to look up your own computer image, go for it. I don't care if you use a different computer image, but I did share this one if you want to use the same one. This thing here where you see my name, that's called a watermark. You'll learn how to make those. This is going to be a footer here. A footer has a page number in it. We have multiple pages, so as you scroll down, you'll see that page number change. I demonstrate things like highlighters and changing the color of the text. Then after this main part here, and we formatted that and put a page border and everything, we do just a mix of variety of things. We do some date and times, review that a little bit. We do some word art, make a word art. We make a table and format that a little bit. Tables are used for layout. When you have something that's good for rows and columns, like your class schedule, tables are great for that. We did some stuff with shapes. We reviewed about shapes, how to overlap them, how to fill them, how to change the arrangement as to what's in front of what or behind what. We have a text box on here. We cover a variety of skills relating to shapes. We do a bulleted list and numbering, how to do bullets and numbering. We review that. And then what we did is we went up and grabbed a paragraph. I don't really even care which one you grab. We copied it. Now in this case, I pasted it in here 3 times. I pasted this one here. I pasted one here, which at first looked more like this. And then I pasted one down here. So the first one we formatted kind of standard, you know, first line indent, 1.5 line spacing, kind of a typical type of paragraph. The second one, this kind of review from when we did the paragraph documents, we indented the entire paragraph. So you learn about how that works in the paragraph dialog box, which should be review, but it might not be for somebody. We made it single space. We made it justified. We did that up here too, which means it makes an even on both sides, and it does that by putting some space in between here, and single spaced. Then I showed a little trick with something called it's format painter. So it looks like a little paintbrush. We put our cursor in the first paragraph, we clicked on the paintbrush, we dragged it across the third paragraph, and it copies all the formatting. So if you want to make a paragraph look the same as a different one, you just put your cursor in it, click on the little paintbrush when you're in Word, drag across here, and it makes it exactly the same. Same formatting, same font, same color, everything. And that's it. It's really not that hard. And a lot of this, quite frankly, you probably know how to do without looking at my tutorial. And if you can do it without looking at my tutorial, you know, to some extent, but at least skim the tutorial, because there may be some things in there you don't know how to do or forgot how to do. So that's just like, think of it as almost like the test part 1. The test itself will be making a bunch of things. That's pretty much it. So it's almost going to feel like an assignment part 2. But it's going to be a lot of the same types of things, same type of skills. And then we're wrapping up Microsoft Word. That's it. That's going to be the end of Word right there. And we'll continue next week. We'll start a combination of PowerPoint, which is a slideshow program. And that's part of what we're going to call multimedia presentations. That's one of the reasons I'm having you watch the Apple thing, so you can see what a nice quality presentations look like, because they're known for putting on really good presentations. And then we'll always be doing a few other little topics thrown in there here and there. So basically, I look at this week as wrapping up the first half of the class. So if you're not already caught up with everything through week 8, now would be a great time to get caught up. When I say now, I mean this week if possible. If not completely caught up this week, maybe in the next 2 weeks. And the good news is about 80% of my students are really caught up and doing a great job. About 20% are various stages of trying to catch up. But it's not hard. They're important skills. There isn't anything I cover I don't think is really worthwhile to cover. Quite frankly, a lot of it should be covered in more depth if there's more time. I'm not getting to quite everything I would normally do if it was a normal year, but we're getting through a lot of it, probably 75 or 80% of it. So that's kind of where we're at with this. So good luck on doing the test tomorrow. Look for it by 9 o'clock, maybe sooner. And then you can use your notes or other tutorials or whatever and submit that tomorrow. So that's going to be a Word document. It's not, so you're going to be making something and then submitting it. It'll be actually submit under the test right here. Are there any questions? I'm trying to get back up here to any questions about anything? Everyone all set for the test tomorrow? So, okay, well, that's it. Good luck. Get everything done. Get everything caught up. I'm going to end the formal part of this. If anyone wants to stick around with questions, I have at least one student may have some questions on some assignments. I'll stick around here. So I'm going to stay here, but you're welcome to leave if you don't have questions. Okay? So take care. Have a good day. We've got HCTV coming out tomorrow. I'll put the link up on Google Classroom for that too. Okay? I stopped the recording, but I'm staying here. So if you want to stay and chat and go over some things, otherwise, have a good day.